Is he going to open up, or is he going to come right across? Now, this one was ruled offside, but you can see the confidence from the finish. All three of these opportunities came in the last round matchup against FC Dallas.
And for LAFC, it's Denny Bwanga. 36 goals in all competitions this season. And LAFC has been so dangerous in the transition. As soon as the ball turns over, Bogusz looks up and he sees Denny Bwanga on the run with acres of space in front of him. And Denny Bwanga has one thing on his mind, going straight to goal, creating space for himself to get a shot off. He's got a half yard and it's in the back of the net. This is what Denny Bwanga is so good at. Another moment earlier in the season against Vancouver, as soon as the ball turns over, here, Ilie Sanchez recognizes Denny Bwanga has time and space in front of the defense.
And you don't always need to beat a guy, do you?
No, you just need a half step. And it's the step over from Denny Bwanga and another finish, this one with the left foot. Denny Bwanga has done this all season long. He will be the X factor tonight for LAFC. For Seattle, it's Jordan Morris. Back to you, Kaylin.
Bradley, a player that we need to see more from is Leo Chu. The reason why Jordan Morris was so successful as that number 9 was the distribution from wide areas.
And it was very good earlier in the season. Tons of ability, which we've seen. Today, though, his job will be different. The role he's going to be asked to do is a lot different. When you're playing against a Ryan's Hollandhead, he's got to help out defensively. He's going to be an overload on Nuhu, and Leo Chu needs to be there to help out. But going forward, we need more numbers on the board, Leo. You're quick, you've got good feet, you've got an eye for goal. We need more numbers, more assists, more chance creation, and a goal for yourself.
Earlier tonight, we saw Hector Herrera as the linchpin for Houston Dynamo. Albert Rusnak is that man for the Seattle Sounders. In the midfield, he can do everything, whether it's box to box or play as that traditional number 10. After coming over from Salt Lake, he has been fantastic for this Seattle team. 2 game-winning goals already this postseason. Got a great cannon of a right foot from outside the box, always looking to shoot and pass second.
Christian Roldan is going to be an important player to watch as well. Has a ton of playoff experience, but has yet to get a goal. But he does so many of the little things as far as pressuring, finding those balls in moments in transition. He can play a number of different positions, tuck inside, always sniff out the danger, and just has that trust, that X factor from being around these guys. But you'd expect him to try to make a difference in the end, getting on the score sheet or trying to get an assist tonight.
Christian Roldan in the midfield of Seattle are going to play a massive role in order to stop a player like Carlos Vela for LAFC, gentlemen.
Carlos Vela, we've seen throughout the years how good and dangerous that left foot is. If no better time for Carlos to show up than in these playoffs. The attention's going to be on Denny Bwanga, and you see some of Carlos Vela's work here. Wonderful left foot, but I think with him saying maybe a goodbye, have a great playoff.
But Brad, one thing I love about it, his sacrifice a little bit for the team. He likes to play out on the right, but he's playing in that false 9 position to drop a little bit deeper now that the system has changed. He's playing more of a distribution role, looking in behind to stretch Bwanga in behind. So love that from Vela, showing he can adapt and play a little bit different position.
It's smart playing him in a 9-2, save his legs for a bit for the important plays.
We know LAFC can score goals, but defensively, this man right here, Chiellini, is going to play a massive role to stop a player like Jordan Morris.
Chiellini has his hands full tonight, that's for sure. And if there's ever space in behind you, you better believe that Seattle is going to try to exploit the old man's legs. Having said that, Chiellini reads the game better than almost any defender I've ever seen around the world. And on set pieces, he has a knack for getting his head on the end of things. So watch for him in both boxes tonight.
This is our Underdog Report brought to you by Purina. Kaylin, what's been the biggest difference between these two sides from past into present?
When you look back at the past iterations of these teams, LAFC, of course, in 2019 especially, played some of the most beautiful football we've ever seen in Major League Soccer. Carlos Vela, you think of Atuesta, that midfield, the way they move the ball, and Seattle came down and said, we're going to come to your house, punch you in the mouth, make it difficult, defend, and then take their chances. They were ruthless through Rui Diaz and Ladero. And then now you look at this latest LAFC team with Cherundolo. It's completely different. It's almost made in Seattle's image. They're happy to hit you on the counter through Bwanga. Set pieces, they had 4 goals against Vancouver. So it's going to be a little bit more of a like-for-like scrap tonight going on the road here in Seattle.
That wraps up our Underdog Report brought to you by Purina with a friendly reminder for all fans. Pets are a great way to ease that match day stress and keep your head in the game. Win or lose, our pets are always there for us. Gentlemen, just under 20 minutes to go as the fans roll in here in Seattle. Seattle hosting LAFC to see who will book their ticket through to play the Houston Dynamo.
Good morning, friends. Today is Thursday, and everybody knows what that means.
How are you today?
Ozark is a therapy dog who goes to children's hospitals and schools. Ozark calms people down after overwhelming days. Purina is supporting more touch therapy dogs to make a difference in the lives of more kids, like me. Purina cares here.
JCPenney is here for you every holiday to make every gift special, every moment matter, and every dollar count. So give the sweater that hugs you back, bake the cookies that melt your heart, and cherish the morning you'll always remember. JCPenney, make your holidays count.
And this be from cash, not from you.
Then there's the truck, GMC Sierra. Available with the V8 engine. The Super Cruise hands-free driving experience. And of course, the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. Not just any truck, the truck.
Denny Banga will look to inspire the reigning champions to more playoff glory. Back for Gonzalez, in between two, goes down, and the referee is going to give a penalty. Denny Banga, pivotal moment in this series against Takaoka. They give LAFC the lead on the road, and he's done it. Powers home, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. And that is it, the final action. Vancouver Whitecaps come up short against the champions. LAFC moving on.
This is Seattle. Game 3. One team advances, one team season ends. We're underway. Winner take all. Oh, it's deflected, but it's not going to keep it out. Albert Rusnak with his second playoff goal. The Sounders strike. The Seattle Sounders find a way. They are making their way through the conference semifinals, and they will play it here against LAFC.
This flashback is brought to you by JCPenney. Going back to 2019 between the Seattle Sounders and LAFC, those conference final, a big win for Seattle 3-1, a brace from Raul Ruidiaz, and a goal from Nico Ladero.
I mean, when this game started with Atuesta, we thought LAFC was just going to run through them. And then this moment from Raul Ruidiaz changes the game. Ruidiaz gets a fortunate bounce, and pure striker just puts it in the back of the net. Then it was Lodero from outside the box, and this game just flipped, and Seattle was just so good on the counterattack.
Not bad options to bring off the bench if you're heading into this one, heading towards penalties. Ladero, for me, he was everywhere, defending in his own box, just scrapping everywhere, and Ruidiaz was just ruthless.
Big match here tonight. Seattle Sounders taking on LAFC to see who will book their ticket through to take on the Houston Dynamo. For the Seattle Sounders, though, there's a lot of changing guard. We talk about Carlos Vela for LAFC, but for the Seattle Sounders, could be the last dance for a lot of these players, like a Raul Ruidiaz, who is featuring on the bench here tonight.
Yeah, it's a changing of the guard for the Seattle Sounders for sure. Lodero has pretty much said he won't be back. Raul Ruidiaz, I think, has one more year, but we're not sure if he'll be back. It's the end of an era. It's the end of maybe a championship window, and the sporting department at Seattle is going to have to make some changes this January. But both of those players still have something left in the tank. We've seen Lodero come off the bench in these playoffs and be very creative. And in a tight game tonight, where the margins are thin, a player like Lodero can be the one who can unlock the LAFC defense.
The one thing I would say is Seattle have done a good job transitioning between generations. So you see Jordan Morris and Christian Roldan stepping up now, Josh Atencio, Jackson Reagan, more young players starting to emerge. And then they also re-signed Steph Fry in the back. So at least that goalkeeper position is locked down.
Bradley, for you look at the strikers of both this side. We know you're a big fan of Denny Banga for all the right reasons. But Jordan Morris, what is the difference between these two guys in big moments and in big games?
I'm sorry, Jordan, but it's a killer instinct. Denny Banga doesn't need convincing to go and seek chances. Jordan Morris almost, even when he's in the 9, still plays like a winger. A little bit more killer instinct from him, and he could be one of the best strikers, I think, in the league, because he has all the tools.
Looking at the midfield of this, who are you taking to win this match in those big transition moments?
The midfield, I would choose Seattle. I think João Paulo in there with Rusnak, they will control the game better. They will keep the ball more, whereas LAFC is so much more direct that as soon as they win it, Acosta is playing forward. Tillman will make those runs forward, but it's not like they'll be keeping possession just for possession's sake, where I think we'll see Seattle control the game a little bit more in the midfield.
I was feeling good about Seattle going to MLS Cup. Banga is making me nervous.
He's a game changer,
to this one. I mean, he's just
changer.
different, but I'm still going to stick with my pick.
Quick predictions. Who do you got? Seattle or LAFC? Quick.
Seattle.
LAFC.
Bradley, very quiet, sitting on his white picket fence like he always does. After the match, be sure to stay on this title and join us for the wrap-up, where we'll break it all down, both semifinal matches, and preview the conference final. Now you can tune in. Jake Zivin and Taylor Twellman have the call for Seattle, taking on LAFC after a short break. Enjoy the match, everyone.
JCPenney is here for you every holiday to make every gift special, every moment matter, and every dollar count. So give the sweater that hugs you back, bake the cookies that melt your heart, and cherish the morning you'll always remember. JCPenney, make your holidays count.
This isn't just an ad for Captain Morgan. It's a clue. And this NFL season, anything could be a clue. 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 Clue.
Clue.
Clues for what? Just follow the captain and see where it takes you.
Follow the captain.
Some people just know that the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Because you know that just because it fits in the cup holder doesn't make it to go. And you know how to brake without breaking everything. And you're definitely not doing, okay, I don't even know what this is, but you're definitely not doing that. With Allstate, you're connected to a rate based on you. You care about a clean future. And so do we. The right nutrition today. And more recyclable packaging tomorrow. Purina cares here. And here.
How will I know where to start? Striving for more isn't just for the field, it's for life. Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Welcome to the Audi 2023 MLS Cup playoffs, and welcome to Seattle, Washington, a city that is hosting a conference semifinal for the 13th time in 15 years. After a year out of the playoffs, the Sounders are back and 2 games away from a return to MLS Cup. They've been there 4 of the last 7 years. LAFC, the defending champs, began the year with a chance to win 6 trophies, but after falling short in the first 5, motivated to show that they are still the class of MLS. It's the Seattle Sounders hosting LAFC in the Western Conference semifinal. 3 of the 4 conference finalists are set. It'll be an Ohio derby in the East, Cincinnati hosting Columbus. Houston beat Sporting Kansas City 1-0 earlier tonight. The winner of Seattle and LAFC will host the Dynamo next Saturday in the Western Conference final. Good evening from Lumen Field alongside Taylor Twellman. I'm Jake Simmons. Starting lineups for this match, no changes. Taylor for Seattle manager Brian Schmetzer. The 4th straight playoff match with this 11.
The best defense in the MLS regular season, anchored by Stephen Fry, club record 14 clean sheets. Reagan Gomez Andrade, good strong center back partnership who allows Nuhu and Alex Roldan to get it wide, open up the field so Atencio and Paulo can be a little bit more expansive. But Seattle's season turned when Rustak moved to the 10th position. Only 1 loss in the 10 games he has played there. 7 goals in all competitions, 7 game winners.
Steve Cherundolo has made 2 changes to LAFC starting 11 from match 2 in Vancouver 21 days ago. Carlos Vela back in up top. Giorgio Chiellini back in on the back.
For only the 2nd time in over 748 appearances in his illustrious career, he will start a game on turf. How does he handle that? And the pace of Morris will be interesting. Acosta in the midfield will give them a little bit balance. Expect him to shade to the left to deal with the Roldan brothers. But Vela has 14 goals, 16 assists, but hasn't scored a goal in his last 13 appearances.
These are the players to watch, presented by RBC Wealth Management, proud partner of Major League Soccer. For Seattle, U.S. national team, Jordan Morris.
2023 started off with a bang. 8 goals in his first 6 games, got Seattle off to a great start. But it's in his new role for Seattle as a 9 that has given them a different look. He's got real pace to stretch the back line, and he's efficient when he gets chances. 13 goals on the season, and in the playoffs, only 22 shots on goal. He's got to be very dangerous tonight against the 39-year-old Chiellini. How dangerous has Denis Bouanga been this year? 36 goals, 13 assists in all competitions for 90 minutes. He's full of pace, he's dynamism, and he's got pressure that makes you really uncomfortable. He's in great form in the moment with 9 goals in his last 5 appearances. Can that continue tonight?
Those were the players to watch, presented by RBC Wealth Management, proud partner of Major League Soccer. Big-time stars in this match. But Taylor, how does it get decided?
It's all about high press, because when you look at LAFC throughout the entire year and the playoffs, they have scored 17 goals off of possessions that start in the attacking third. Where does that come from? High pressure. That's more than St. Louis City. That's more than the New York Rebels, in large part because they've got players like Denis Bouanga that can finish them off. But they also are very timely in how they press you. Timothy Tillman, great spot here, turns them over, and then immediately making a decision to finish that play off. How does Seattle deal with that? I think João Paulo's the focal point tonight. I think he's got to be the metronome to play out of that high pressure. At times for this team, he likes to be more of an expansive 8. I think tonight he's got to be very disciplined and giving the back line of Seattle an option to play through that pressure. João Paulo, the X factor tonight for Brian Schmetzer.
Seattle has been so good here at Lumen Field in the playoffs. Their last loss in a home playoff match over 10 years ago, November of 2013. Since then, 19 home matches, 17 wins, and 2 draws. Now, there's a couple shootout losses in there. There's a second leg loss and a home and home, but it has been a fortress for the Seattle Sounders here at Lumen Field. An incredible atmosphere tonight, as there is always this time of year in Seattle. About 35,000 expected, a sellout for what they've opened up for tonight. Seattle and LAFC making their way out onto the Lumen Field pitch. A building that has hosted so many big games this time of year, playoff soccer. Back at Lumen Field in 2023, back where it belongs in Major League Soccer. The Emerald City supporters fired up, 34,000 plus at Lumen Field, ready for the latest chapter of what has become a pretty intense, hotly contested rivalry between the Seattle Sounders and LAFC. They've met twice before in the playoffs. Once here at Lumen Field in 2020. It was during the pandemic. It was an empty Lumen Field. Seattle won that match 3-1. But the more famous previous playoff matchup in 2019 at BMO Stadium, LAFC, the then MLS regular season record points, 72. Seattle Sounders went to LA and upset them 3-1. What will tonight bring? We're minutes away from kickoff. We will be back from Lumen Field.
Meet the Chevy ZR2 family. They'll never let you down. With features
path to your true potential. You need a spotter, a running mate, a loyal companion. You need Celsius. Every drop is essential. Celsius, essential energy.
Ilie can win MLS Cup with this kick.
Game on the line. How do I make the smart choice? I remember what's worked and what hasn't. This goalie knows exactly where I'm going to shoot. He's smart, but hesitant. I'm not, or I'm right, all in. So let it fly.
Yes! What a smart choice by Ilie!
Continental, the smart choice in tires.
Two previous meetings in the regular season this season between Seattle and LAFC. They were not the barn burners that you might expect between these two clubs. First, back in March on a sunny afternoon at Lumen Field, a scoreless draw that saw some fisticuffs between these two teams. That continued on June 21st at BMO Stadium. 10 yellow cards in total between the two games. Just one goal, Mateusz Bogusz, in the first minute of that match in June. LAFC won that game 1-0. We'll be back with the kickoff. Western Conference semifinal from Seattle.
How will I know where to start? Striving for more isn't just for the field, it's for life. Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters.
Everything you don't want to believe exists. Holy. If you want to save millions of lives, we can use some help.
There are trucks, then there's the truck, GMC Sierra. Available with the V8 engine. The Super Cruise hands-free driving experience. And of course, the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. Not just any truck, the truck.
This is the head-to-head presented by GMC. We are professional grade, two of the most successful clubs in MLS. Seattle, they've been around a bit longer, since 2009. They've accumulated more playoff wins, more playoff games. But LAFC, in their short history, already with 3 trophies. LAFC, the defending MLS Cup champs. Seattle have been to 4 of the last 7 MLS Cups, winning 2. It's a big-time matchup in the Western Conference semifinals. One more conference final spot up for grabs. It'll either be Seattle or LAFC. We're underway at Lumen Field. Seattle in the green and blue, LAFC in their black and gold. The third time these two teams have met in the playoffs. It has been Seattle in the first two by identical 3-1 score lines. They've met twice before in the regular season. A scoreless draw here at Lumen Field. A 1-0 win for LAFC at BMO Stadium. 1 goal, 10 yellow cards in the 2 regular season matchups between these two teams this year. Taylor, do you expect a similar kind of game tonight in the conference semifinal?
I think the first 30 minutes is going to determine that, in large part because is the game going to be played in rhythm or is it going to be chaotic? I think if it's chaotic and in transition, that suits LAFC on the road. I think if it's in rhythm and João Paulo and Rusnak and everyone on Seattle is playing into the environment, playing into the momentum, that favors the home team. Speaking of the home team, unbeaten in the last 19 in playoff games in this building. It's as difficult of a place to win in the biggest games of the season.
17-0-2. 17 wins, 2 draws in the last 19 playoff matches at Lumen Field for the Seattle Sounders. Literally unbeatable, but an early mistake, a miscommunication as Stephen Fry sends it out for a throw. Timothy Tillman tried to find Christian Oliveira. João Paulo will send it forward. Jordan Morris does well. Hollingshead tried to win it back. He thought he did. Instead, a through snack on it. Coming forward for Seattle. Has Morris with him. Chopped down by Hollingshead. Ted Uncle plays advantage for the Sounders. Leo Chu. Josh Atencio, the youngster on his left. Maxime Crépeau, a big save in the 2nd minute of the match.
Well, how about this start early on from Seattle Sounders? Atencio's first touch lets him down a little bit, but fantastic technique to hit it off the half bounce. Maxime Crépeau coming up with a massive save 2 minutes in here.
Josh Atencio, the 21-year-old midfielder, starting alongside João Paulo. There's been some change, some kind of reshuffling of the Seattle Sounders starting lineup. No longer Nicolas Ladero, Raul Ruiz-Diaz, mainstays of the Seattle team, 2 players that led them to such success. They're on the bench, and they've been on the bench really since Leagues Cup. It's Albert Rusnak in at the 10, and so there was a spot open next to João Paulo, and right now, Brian Schmetter's going with Josh Atencio for a 4th straight playoff match.
Yeah, but I think the biggest reason why is they're more athletic. There's an ability collectively to play. I'm not saying Nicolas Ladero wasn't that guy, but he liked to roam. He was undisciplined within a tactical setup. It made Seattle a little too slow in how they play. Rusnak is very committed, disciplined to playing his role within this setup, but also Leo Chu gives them an out-and-out pace winger that can stretch the back line. Collectively, they're a better team with Rusnak as a 10.
Leo Chu has had a breakout season. 5 goals, 8 assists this year, providing something different on the left. Morris in a foot race with Chiellini. Morris is in. Jordan Morris. Oh, Maxime Crépeau. What a save to keep it scoreless.
Well, the other part, too, is Jordan Morris now is a different 9. He's not going to play with his back to goal, but he can get you for pace. That's why I was a little curious to see Chiellini, the 39-year-old, play as a center back and not Aaron Long. Jordan Morris blown right by Murillo and Chiellini. Crépeau again 5 minutes in with his 2nd big save.
2 saves in the first 5 minutes for Maxime Crépeau. The Sounders are coming out hot. 1 goal in 180 minutes combined between these 2 teams in the regular season. It has not been that kind of start at Lumen Field. Now Tillman driven across, back post. Bouanga was there. Roldan swung and missed. Still there for LAFC. Kellen Acosta closed down by Atencio. João Paulo the first to it. Palacios recovers for LAFC. You mentioned it, Giorgio Chiellini. 39 years old, the oldest player in MLS, one of the best at his position in the history of the game. But he's giving up something for pace with Jordan Morris, and that almost hurt LAFC 5 minutes in.
And the other part is Aaron Long knows Jordan Morris as well as anyone. They were teammates on the national team, so the amount of repetitions that those two got against each other on the practice field during the World Cup, whatever it may be, you know tendencies of each other. It can work for Jordan Morris, it can work for Aaron Long. But this is only the second time in over 748 games that Giorgio Chiellini has started on turf. So far, little interesting from the pace of Jordan Morris.
And the first time was on October 21st, decision day up in Vancouver. But Steve Cherundolo told us, Giorgio Chiellini said, I'm up for anything. I'm here, I'm fit, I'm ready to play. And he gets the start tonight at Lumen Field for LAFC.
Well, the point now is because of the early start from Jordan Morris getting in behind, Chiellini and Murillo are going to now drop a little bit deeper. That plays into the hands of Rusnak, getting the ball at his feet, combining with Morris, Leo Chu, and Christian Roldan running off of that.
Here is Chiellini, finds Vela, leaves, Banga sends it over. That was a good chance for the Golden Boot winner in Major League Soccer.
I mean, this is the save from Maxime Crepeau. He has to hold his ground and wait for any little commitment from Jordan Morris, then going back the other way. How about this layoff from Carlos Vela? Not your traditional 9, more of a 9 that's going to float, but great technique, good layoff, fantastic chance for the MLS Golden Boot winner.
Ryan Schmetzer, Seattle's manager, he is Mr. Sounder, has been part of this club since 1980 when he signed with the Seattle Sounders in the NASL straight out of high school. Took over in the middle of the 2016 season for the late Ziggy Schmid, led the Sounders to MLS Cup that year, led them to another MLS Cup in 2019, 2 MLS Cup losses as well. The third fastest to 100 wins in league history. 61 years old and has the Sounders back where they have been so frequently. Western Conference semifinals, 3 games away from another MLS Cup, as are LAFC. Josh Atencio trying to find Leo Chu. Howling said, we'll chest it back to Maxime Crepeau, who does not take any chances. And Steve Cherundolo, a perfect playoff record, led LAFC to MLS Cup last year. They won that in penalties in the greatest match in MLS history against the Philadelphia Union. That one was at home. This is only the 3rd road playoff match in LAFC's history. The second one was 21 days ago. Match 2 of round 1 up in Vancouver. The first one, 2020, here at Lumen Field.
Well, and go back to that chance from LAFC. They did a wonderful job of just floating the ball in. I love this. This is why Chiellini's in the lineup. His ability to play out of the back, but just to deliver that ball at a pace that Carlos Vela doesn't need a second touch. 1-touch layoff. We've seen Banga finish plays like that, but that's the ability of Chiellini and why he's in the lineup tonight.
Into space for Oliveira, defended by Nuhu. Oliveira gets around Nuhu, he goes down, foul given. Nuhu can't believe it, but it's a set piece upcoming for LAFC.
Well, for those of you at home, LAFC didn't even know Christian Oliveira would be available tonight. He was a game-time decision. You can look at his right leg. He's got tape going right through the quad coming back from the international break. Steve Cherundolo and LAFC did not know if he was available this morning. He told the coaching staff, give me a shot, but I'm not sure how long he's got tonight. He's going to have his hands full dealing with Nuhu in a big playoff game here at home.
He started for Uruguay in a World Cup qualifier on Tuesday against Bolivia. 21 years old. And now Carlos Vela over this set piece for LAFC. Dangerous ball in. Fry does well to get a punch in traffic.
It is interesting, isn't it, how Seattle Sounders have almost started out in a low block at home.
Why do you think that is?
They don't want to be in transition with LAFC.
Who does?
If they want to be in transition, they want to be the aggressor. So that's the last thing they want. I still always shake my head at it because LAFC still has the quality all over the field to play against a low block, even if it's not their DNA or necessarily the way they want to go about their business. But you saw the chance from Vela off of Chiellini in that ball. You've got to be careful allowing LAFC to get into some rhythm.
Leo Chu leaves for Albert Rusnak. João Paulo. Alex Roldan. Seattle's turn to possess. Reagan under some pressure, goes all the way back to Stephen Fry.
But for those of you at home, Seattle Sounders went into the playoffs in an unbeaten streak of 10 games. And a large part, it was because of Rusnak. And it's in these moments, if that's Nicolas Ladero, he's roaming all over the field. He's going to sidelines. He's getting into spots. Rusnak will be committed. He will be disciplined. He will stay central. Ted Unkel blows his whistle here, even though Gomez Andrade was in possession of the ball. Was it a left arm into the face of Kellen Acosta? That's always a difficult one for me because I understand from the referee's perspective where he is. He sees the head from Kellen Acosta move back, but Gomez Andrade is just holding him off. It's almost an accident. The left arm comes up. There's no intent whatsoever.
And he's pleading that to Ted Unkel right now. Ted Unkel is explaining the reason for the foul. I think LAFC is asking for more as well.
Now the question is whether or not he blew the whistle because he felt like it was a head injury to Kellen Acosta. But it's not. Yeah. He called a foul, and now Chiellini and LAFC have the set piece.
Rusnak pressuring Crepeau, forcing him to send it onto midfield. Oh, heavy touch from Jackson Reagan. He did really well to keep it away from Banga. What a breakout year it's been for Jackson Reagan, second-year player out of the University of Michigan. The Seattle area player. They did have to draft him. He's not technically a homegrown. A second-round draft pick of the Chicago Fire. And Seattle actually had to trade for his rights with the Fire.
Yeah, but it's also a good example of the MLS pathway.
Yeah.
And his 2021 season with the Tacoma Defiance is a big reason why Jackson Reagan's more comfortable, more confident at this level. I see so many of the tendencies in how he plays and goes about his business the way Chad Marshall played. Almost identical.
That's a big comparison. A multiple-time Defender of the Year. Jackson Reagan started 32 of the 34 regular season matches for Seattle, basically displacing Javier Arriaga from the starting 11 for the Sounders. This is given away by Nuhu, and then given right back by Ilie. Alex Roldan.
I think if Seattle can have their choice tonight between Nuhu and Alex Roldan's going to be more aggressive right back, even though Banga is on that side. I think Nuhu's tendencies at times can be almost as a third center back. So now Gomez Andrade at times in possession, he can slide over. Look at the shape that Seattle is in possession with. It's almost three center backs allowing Alex Roldan to stretch the field wide.
Alex Roldan is a converted midfielder. Moved there by the Sounders before the 2020 season. He was out of contract after 2019, essentially cut. They decided to re-sign him, give him a go as an outside back, and he has been a day in, day out starter for the Sounders since. Sao Paulo gets it to Alex Roldan. Into Atencio. Patient build-up from Seattle. Atencio, Sao Paulo, back to Neymar. LAFC has dropped really deep to defend. Alex Roldan. Sao Paulo with some time. Back to Alex Roldan. Finds Josh Atencio. Chiellini was able to get it over to Roldan, and then the first corner of the match won by the Sounders.
Well, you can look at some of the frustration from Murillo, Sanchez, and Chiellini having a conversation with the players around him. Atencio's doing a really good job early on in this game at pushing the tempo through the middle. You know, oftentimes that's Sao Paulo. Tonight, that's been Josh Atencio, and it's asking some questions in the midfield from LAFC.
Seattle's won 8 of the 13 matches that Josh Atencio has started this year. 8-3-2 their record when the 21-year-old starts.
And a big reason why he's dangerous on set pieces.
Sao Paulo into the middle, dealt with by LAFC. Can they get out and run? Heavy touch from Oliveira. Alex Roldan finds Sao Paulo. Another chance to send it into the box. This one is headed just wide. It was off of LAFC. It will be another corner.
Well, Sao Paulo does so many little things well, but it's also in key moments delivering the right kind of ball at the right angle. Attacking set piece because Jackson Reagan stays forward. Wonderful ball in, even better defending in the moment from LAFC.
Rusnak will take this one from the near side. Taylor the defensive header at the near post. Rusnak just pops it back in, and Crepeau will see that one go out. He has thrived in a more attacking role, Albert Rusnak. 4 goals, 2 assists in 9 games without Nico Ladero in the starting 11. Just 3-2 in the 28 games that Ladero started. A big reason for that is Ladero starting, Rusnak is playing further back on the pitch.
Yeah, but look at last year. Sao Paulo was out injured, and you know what I mean? When Rusnak plays deeper, it doesn't work.
I think Brian Schmetzer realized that, and that's why he's done what he's done in the later part of the season. And it has worked for Seattle.
Yeah, but Andy Rose, Preki, they deserve a ton of credit. Brian Schmetzer immediately pointing out to that they were on him about moving on from Ladero in the 11.
That's a foul and another restart, a set piece for LAFC, and it looks like a yellow card to Nuhu.
Well, here we are talking about the Seattle Sounders coaching staff. They're going to be frustrated with Nuhu here. There's absolutely no reason here to leave his feet studs up right in front of the assistant referee. He did a good job of retreating, getting in front of Hollingshead, but now a dangerous set piece. And for the next 70-plus minutes, he's on a yellow.
He's right in front of the assistant referee, Corey Brockwell, who waved for that foul immediately.
Now, LAFC scored more goals than any team in MLS off of corners. This is a free kick, but similar to a corner, in-swinging ball from Carlos Vela. Sao Paulo, the most important defender for Seattle here.
it's a change. João Paulo in that spot. That normally was Christian Roldan. Brian Schmetzer has moved Christian Roldan out of that spot because of his 2 concussions this year to try to keep him from more collisions. It is Vela. It is into that near post. It's flicked back by Ilie, headed forward by Hollingshead, and then cleared by Reagan. Ambitious from Oliveira and wide.
Well, not a great ball from Carlos Vela. In that moment, you expect a little bit more quality from Vela to put pressure on Seattle. Oh, good assist from Seattle.
Wonderful build-up. Roldan forward to Morris. Murillo there for LAFC. They look comfortable on the ball. Seattle has tonight, playing at home. Over 60% of the possession so far. Stephen Fry mishits that and sends it out. Steve Cherundolo taking down notes in that little notebook. What do you think he's writing down right now?
Yeah, the most important thing he was worried about, and that's why Kellen Acosta is in the lineup and he's shading on the left side, is that when Alex Roldan comes forward, they've got 3v2, sometimes even 4v2, because Christian Roldan will come inside and rotate. And so those moments right there, immediately, Razov and Cherundolo were trying to get the attention of that right side of Seattle, left side of LAFC, and how they're defending it. Atencio's doing a good job of pulling them over there, and the rotations are out of place.
Great ball from Alex Roldan begins this. Now Rusnak blocked by Ilie. Ted Uncle calls the foul against Seattle.
Well, there was a question whether or not the 21-year-old Josh Atencio would be up for the moment tonight. He's been fantastic. He's been quick to react. This is a little bit lucky for LAFC. Nothing really there on Tillman. But Atencio had the early chance. Crepeau had to make a big-time save, but it's also his positioning, his clean touches. The ball's moving very quickly when it comes through Atencio. It's allowing everyone else around him, the more senior players, to get comfortable and get into the game.
He was initially put in there for more size on set pieces. The other option, the 18-year-old Obed Vargas. Josh Atencio took advantage of his opportunity, starting a 4th straight playoff match. 8th in the last 9, including the regular season. Ilie steps up. João Paulo putting his head in danger. Wins it for Seattle. Ted Uncle plays on. Big switch from João Paulo, but Diego Palacios there for LAFC. Alex Roldan into his brother Christian. Ted Uncle says no foul, allows LAFC to continue. Immediately, once again, Seattle wins the ball back. João Paulo, Morris left it for João Paulo. Oh, important step from Giorgio Chiellini.
It's amazing, isn't it? 39 years old, and yet in those key moments, listen, he's going to be caught for pace. He'll raise his hand and tell you that. But in combinations and reading layoffs, reading plays, timely tackle from Chiellini. 25 minutes in, other than the real good chance off of the layoff from Carlos Vela, where's Denis Bouanga been? They've got to find a way to get him involved into this game.
Golden Boot winner this season in Major League Soccer, but Denis Bouanga has been quiet so far. It's been a lot of this, a lot of Seattle on the ball, trying to figure out a way through. Atencio into Christian Roldan. Left it towards Rusnak. Chiellini there to get it forward for LAFC. Here is Denis Bouanga. Oh, does so well to get through João Paulo. Yeimar steps up for Seattle.
If I'm LAFC, flip Oliveira and Bouanga for about 5 minutes, just to see. And conventional wisdom will tell you, well, Alex rolled on, Christian rolled on, Atencio's all on that side. They're bombing forward, the space is there. Just flip it, change it, see if it happens. It's not going to change much to your front three, four with Tillman as the pseudo 8 or 10 or whatever it may be, but give Bouanga maybe a different look. Or play him as a 9 and have Vela come out. Just give him a little flexibility to maybe go find some spaces in the game in different spots.
It is a fluid and flexible front three for Steve Cherundolo. Hollingshead towards Oliveira and out for a goal kick.
And the other reason why you do that, Nuhu's on a yellow.
Yep. Yeah.
Give me one ball with Denis Bouanga if I'm LAFC. Take him on, put him in a bad spot to have to make a decision. And if he does make that decision, he's off for the second yellow.
He's a really good one-on-one defender, Nuhu.
Oh, he's one of the best in the league.
But he's playing under a lot of pressure for the rest of this match on a yellow card. An experienced playoff player, as most of these Sounders are. This is his 17th playoff appearance. Vela let it run on, tries to draw the foul. Ted Uncle tells him to get up. A lot of pressure on Stefan Fry, composed as you would expect. Jackson Reagan, he's good on the ball. Finds Rusnak, who loses it to Vela. Ted Uncle says play on. And Carlos Vela is not going to appreciate those last couple of decisions from Ted Uncle. LAFC won't mind this one though. Play continues. Here's Denis Bouanga. Christian Oliveira. Nuhu comes back to take it away. Leo Chu is down, and the foul is called this time.
Well, Saunders fans are upset that advantage wasn't played, but more so, Nuhu was given a yellow for his challenge on Hollingshead. They're thinking it's the same argument, it's different challenges, but in the moment, I think the referee could allow the advantage to Rusnak.
Jordan Morris turned right into Giorgio Chiellini, who sends it away.
That's the one part of Jordan Morris's game that doesn't suit being a 9. His ability to be a reference point, his ability to play with his back to goal, Jake. It's just Jordan Morris at times, if LAFC is going to be in a low block, he's got to be able to play with his back to goal so the players around him can use him as a reference point going forward.
How long-term of a solution is this, Jordan Morris at a 9 for Seattle?
Depends on what they get from Rui Diaz come next season. Oh, what a ball that is.
It's left by Oliveira. Here is Bouanga, finally into space. Bouanga is forward! Oh, Denis Bouanga! All he needs is one chance, and the Golden Boot winner opens the scoring in the conference semifinal.
In the biggest games, in the tightest games, your stars have to deliver. 30 minutes in, who's been the better team? Seattle Sounders, unequivocally. But because the LAFC goalkeeper, Maxime Crepeau, comes up with 2 big saves, it gives them life. And when you've got the MLS Golden Boot winner, 36 goals in all competitions, he needs one chance, a half a chance, to turn this game on its head. The last thing Seattle wanted is Denis Bouanga in open space. Alex Roldan, João Paulo, Stephen Fry pick the ball out of the back of the net. It's Denis Bouanga, LAFC, 1-0, and 35,000 on their feet. In agony. What a goal.
It was against the run of play, but is Denis Bouanga, who had been quiet for the first half hour of this match, and in the one opening for LAFC, the one goal, and the defending MLS Cup champs take the lead away at Seattle in this Western Conference semifinal. How can Seattle respond?
Well, you got to continue what you've been doing the entire game. You've been the better team. You've had 2 great chances.
Here they come, Leo Chu. Gets around Hollingshead. Oh, he did really well. Ryan Hollingshead did to recover and take it away. That makes it to Vela, who is fouled by Alex Roldan.
The problem here, though, Jake, 15 games this year, Seattle gave up the first goal. We only won 2 of them. They're not built for this. And you know who is built for this is LAFC, because now Seattle's going to have to chase the game. They're going to push numbers forward. They're going to continue to do what they did in the first 30 minutes. It's only going to open up the game. Alex Roldan pushing forward. Denis Bouanga in behind him. It's important that Seattle understands you're only in the 33rd minute. You can lose this game going into halftime if you give up the second goal. But as this game evolves, as this game develops, it's only going to play into the hands for LAFC in transition.
LAFC 12-0-3 in the regular season when scoring the first goal. If you want to add the 2 playoff matches, match 1 and match 2 of round 1 against Vancouver to that, 14-0-3. MLS regular season and playoffs combined. If you're the Sounders, you'll take solace in history in 2019 in that Western Conference final at BMO Stadium. LAFC scored first, the then record team in Major League Soccer, 72 points in the regular season at home, and the Sounders responded with 3 goals to win emphatically 3-1. They'll have to do that again tonight.
And who scored those goals?
2 guys who are sitting on the bench for Seattle right now, Raul Ruiz and Nicolas Ladero.
This game is far from over, but Seattle's got to be very careful they don't give up this second goal going into halftime.
Oliveira, it makes its way to Carlos Vela.
And here's the one moment. Bouanga had a half a chance off that layoff from Carlos Vela, but how about Tillman bypassing the lines, playing the right ball? Not Christian Oliveira, but Denis Bouanga in behind. I mean, as difficult of an angle as you'll ever see, but to strike it with that conviction and the pace outside the right foot a little bit. He set foot in Major League Soccer in 2022. He lit it on fire in 2023. Remarkable how many goals he has scored in this calendar year.
That is his 37th goal, all competitions this year. The record for an MLS player in a single year all competitions is 38. It was Carlos Vela in 2019. Denny Bwanga now 1 away from matching his teammate's record. Chiellini got his arm high up into Christian Roldan. And the Seattle Sounders will have a set piece.
I mean, Seattle's game plan, their execution's been on point. The 2 early chances in the first 5 minutes, this could have been a completely different game if not for that man coming up with 2 huge saves. And now all of a sudden you've got a little bit more anxiety in the building. But this Seattle team, time and time again, since Brian Schmetzer has taken over in 2016, they've answered the call.
If there's a team that won't be rattled in this situation, it is the Seattle Sounders. They have been to 4 of the last 7 MLS Cups, won 2 of them.
Keep an eye at Jackson Reagan out of your screen here on the left side. João Paulo may float this for him against Hollingshead.
He's looking for Atencio. Maybe it was towards Yamar. Reagan wins the second. Oliveira on it for LAFC. Really good touch from Bwanga. Touch and go in a foot race with Nuhu. Uh-oh, Nuhu's on a yellow card, and Ted Uncle says that's not a foul. It was a big decision by Ted Uncle. The arm was extended. It will be interesting to take another look at it. This time, Nuhu is fouled by Oliveira.
How about the touch from Bwanga, by the way? In tight spaces, gets him out of trouble. There is a running back here in Seattle by the name of Beast Mode. I think Nuhu just gave Marshawn Lynch a good stiff arm example. By the way, no foul for me.
No foul for you?
None.
All right. Too far for Alex Roldan.
Marshawn Lynch getting a shout out. He's been watching the MLS playoffs in Seattle over the last couple of weeks.
A fan favorite here at Lumen Field, as is Nuhu.
You brought up that 2019 game. Post game, I think Nuhu kicked a can of beer from LA to Seattle.
That is your favorite moment in MLS history.
Top 3, hands down. Absolutely. Because I would have broke every metatarsal and femur bone that I had in my body. He kicked it a mile.
Full volley, straight from the stands.
Yep.
Nuhu sends it back to where it came
Wasted
from.
that beer, by the way.
The Audi 2023 MLS Cup playoffs continue next Saturday with the conference finals. In the East, FC Cincinnati host Columbus. Coverage starts at 5:30 Eastern on MLS Season Pass. The winner of this one will face Houston Dynamo in the Western Conference Final at 9:30 Eastern. The winner of this match will host that game. Helen Acosta never afraid to get into a confrontation. And the Sounders will have another set piece.
Well, we mentioned it in the pregame. In the 2 games this year, there was only 1 goal scored, 10 yellows. There's a respect between these 2 teams, but these 2 teams have been the barometer for all the teams in the Western Conference for success over the last 5 to 6 years. 2 teams getting after proper game this.
João Paulo now drives it in. Strong header away by Tillman. Nuhu towards Christian Roldan. He keeps it in play. Gets the cross in. Morris left it. Leo Chu towards Atencio. Again, it's Giorgio Chiellini. He was fouled by Atencio, who's going into the book for the late challenge. A second Sounder shown a yellow card in this first half, as Giorgio Chiellini remains down.
His body may be 39, but his brain is still 21. To read this layoff, there's not a single other player on LAFC that read this layoff except Chiellini.
That's the second or third time tonight he's had a similar defensive moment.
Well, and he got punched in the face about 2 minutes into the game, chasing Jordan Morris in open space. But he's played himself right into this game, gotten very comfortable. Unlucky for Atencio. He's been really good in this first half. But this helps LAFC just because it takes the sting out of the game. When you're on the road and you hear the angst in the stadium, it's fuel. Steve Cherundolo knows it, LAFC knows it.
Denis Bwanga in the 30th minute, the lone goal of this match. You mentioned that moment in the 4th minute. The Sounders got Jordan Morris through in a foot race with Giorgio Chiellini. Jordan Morris won that foot race by several yards and was in on goal. Maxime Crépeau made the save. But that's the best moment the Sounders have had tonight. How can they replicate that? They have not been able to get Jordan Morris out and running at any point since then.
No, because Ilie Sanchez has actually dropped a little bit deeper, right? And so now Chiellini, the moment Seattle wins the ball, I told you, because of that early run in behind, it plants the seed. So now he's dropping. They'd rather have the ball into the feet of Rusnak than over the top to Jordan Morris.
It's worked for LAFC since they have the 1-0 lead.
But if you're Seattle, I'm getting Rusnak in those good spots. Get him right around Sanchez and Acosta. Try to pull them out of position. Get Alex Roldan going forward. We've seen very little from Christian Roldan tonight.
Or Leo Chu, right?
Yeah.
2 wingers for Seattle. LAFC wins it. Ilie Morris backtracking, takes it away for the Sounders. Here is Christian Roldan. João Paulo out into space for Alex Roldan.
I mean, that won't make any of the highlights, but that was a left-footed ball over 30 yards from João Paulo with the ball bouncing because of the surface.
He has so much quality. They really missed him last year. João Paulo missed all of 2022 with an ACL tear. Suffered in the CONCACAF Champions League final in the second leg. The Sounders won, the only MLS team to do so. The Sounders could not replace him. They didn't make the playoffs last year, ending a streak of 13 straight seasons in the postseason. They are back this year and trying to make it back to MLS Cup, but in a hole as we head towards the end of the first half against the defending champs LAFC. João Paulo has time. He's going to try it. It's right at Maxime Crépeau, who makes another save.
Well, João Paulo has shown throughout his time in Seattle he can score those wonderful goals. 2 of those against Minnesota United from distance.
The 3rd save of the match for Maxime Crépeau, the most routine of the 3. His 2 saves in the first 5 minutes loom so large as we get closer to halftime. And LAFC with a 1-goal lead. Guimar stepping forward. Chiellini, he's quick. Beats Morris to the ball. Now Bwanga, so dangerous. Oh, touches it around Alex Roldan. Ted Uncle says play on. He disagrees.
In those moments when Denis Bwanga is trying to run right at the back line of the Seattle Sounders, if Carlos Vela just opens up with a little 3 to 4 yard run, the combination between Bwanga and Vela is on.
What a tackle from João Paulo. Now Leo Chu. Oh, tricky. Shot blocked by Ilie. Knocked down by Rusnak, cleared away by Chiellini. Christian Roldan into the feet of Jordan Morris, leaves it for Leo Chu. Hollingshead poking it away, makes its way to Alex Roldan. There will be a minimum 1 minute of stoppage time added to this first half. Josh Atencio. Chiellini again stepping up, again poking it away.
It's a little thing. Were you surprised by the 1 minute? There was the goal, there was the injury to Kellen Acosta. 2 yellows.
Could have had 2.
And Chiellini.
Chiellini was down for a little bit. Just the minute, just 30 seconds or so more for Seattle to try to take away the momentum heading into the locker room, and they'll have a corner in the final moments of this first half. They go short. Alex Roldan in towards Atencio. LAFC wins it, and they are not given the opportunity to come forward on the break. Frustration from LAFC as Ted Uncle blows the halftime whistle. They will take a 1-0 lead into the locker room, but they wanted a chance to make it 2.
We waited 2 weeks for this game, didn't we?
We did.
It's delivered. The first 45 minutes been fantastic. Crepeau coming up with 2 huge saves, a wonderful goal from the guy that's got 37 goals in all competitions, with the prospect of Rui Diaz and Ladero coming into this second half.
It is far from over at Lumen Field, but it is Denis Bouanga who has given LAFC a 1-0 halftime lead in the Western Conference semifinals. We'll be back to break it down and with highlights after this.
When your money's good, you feel good.
Don't be afraid to catch fish.
Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
This time of year, there's one workshop on everyone's mind. The one that spends the whole year making toys and gifts. The Home Depot Kids Workshop, teaching those who will one day build their own homes and communities that doing is a gift you can share with everyone. Happy holidays from the Home Depot.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron.
Welcome to the halftime report presented on Audi. It's a clear November night in Seattle, not the way they like it. No rain, it's cold, and it's the away team.
Moving quick, Jordan Moore's blown right by the 2 center backs of LAFC. Just textbook goalkeeping. You've got to stay big and wait for that little bit of a sign that he's going to flip it up. Big time save from Crepeau, then Chiellini grows into the game. Just quality all over. Chiellini lays it into Carlos Vela. Great layoff. Bouanga skies it, but he won't sky this one. In transition, into space. He has lit this league on fire. Sounders defenders chasing him. Stefan Fry in a good spot. It's just relentless. For 90 minutes, he runs at you, puts you under pressure, and then can score the variety of goals that he needs to. His 37th of the year in 2023. What a player.
1-0 LAFC at halftime. Possession heavily in favor of Seattle. You'd expect that given the styles of these 2 teams, and certainly I think LAFC wanted that as the half went on. They got their 1 goal in transition, and they lead 1-0 at halftime. The top scorers for each team are presented by Audi, the official vehicle of Major League Soccer. Denis Bouanga scoring his 4th goal of these playoffs. A man on fire, continuing his regular season form where he won the Golden Boot into the postseason. He now has 10 goals in his last 5.5 matches. And wonderful form for LAFC. And for every goal scored during the Audi MLS Cup playoffs, Audi will contribute $2,000 to support MLS academies through the Goals Drive Progress initiative. Join the legend Lionel Messi as he embarks on his historic next chapter with Apple TV Plus's new documentary series, Messi Meets America. Follow along Messi's journey as he takes North America and Major League Soccer by storm, ushering in a new era with his Inter Miami teammates. The series is streaming now only on Apple TV Plus. Just the goal from Denny Bwanga in this first half. Jordan Morris came close 5 minutes in. Giorgio Chiellini, 39 years old. What a half he played. Second half's going to be great, and it's coming up from Midfield.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
It is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, cash or card?
For water?
Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro. Check it out, made with titanium.
We do have free movies, with the purchase of headphones.
I'll just use my iPhone.
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters.
Travis, did you know you can get this season's COVID-19 shot when you get your flu shot?
Two things at once.
Two things at once! Two things at once!
I'll have two things at once, please.
Now back to two things at once.
Two things at once.
That's not two things at once.
Mom!
Travis, ask about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
How will I know where to start? Striving for more isn't just for the field, it's for life. Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Welcome back to the halftime report presented by Audi. Is that a full moon? Things could get weird in the second half. What a first half it was. LAFC, thanks to Denny Bwanga's 37th goal all competitions, lead 1-0. Offside takes you into the world of American soccer with Taylor Twellman as your tour guide. This week, a wonderful podcast, a conglomerate of coaches in the playoffs previewing these semifinals. Some interesting stories in there as well. Peter Vermees, he's a little bit of a grease monkey.
Jiffy Lube, yeah. One of the best stories you'll ever hear.
And how about Chad Ochocinco?
Amazing.
Yeah, and we kind of knew he was a soccer guy.
Yeah, but not
I don't know if his
lying
wife
to
knew.
your wife about going to Paris because they fell in love, but actually just wanted to go to the Champions League final.
That episode and all of Offside with Taylor Twellman through MLS Cup can be listened to on Apple Podcasts. Well, it's been an intriguing conference semifinal weekend so far. Let's begin with Orlando and Columbus. 77th minute, second yellow to Rodrigo Schlegel. He's out.
Schlegel doesn't need to. Galese's coming off his line. He's not aware of where he is. Just plays into the hands of Columbus.
Went to extra time.
And how about this first touch from Christian Ramirez, who immediately leaves the game because his wife's in labor in game, and he scores that goal. But it was all about Schulte for me. You want to talk about the pro pathway in Major League Soccer. Columbus Crew 2. Schulte was fantastic for them last year. This year he wins the job. And Cucho Hernandez, who 5 minutes before this couldn't run 10 feet, sprints 50 yards to celebrate the clincher, 2-0. in Orlando.
Columbus on to the conference finals, where they will face their rivals FC Cincinnati because of a late, maybe controversial winner from Yersin Mosquera. Yeah, maybe, very.
The Bailey and FC Cincinnati won't mind, but from that picture, because the arm doesn't have any impact in the offside decision, I think he's offside. But Pat Noonan, Chris Albright, and that entire FC Cincinnati staff, revenge for losing to the Philadelphia Union last year.
No clear and obvious error to overturn that goal. Cincinnati will host Columbus on Saturday in the Eastern Conference Final. The winner of our match today will host the Houston Dynamo, because Franco Escobar, he scores big goals in the playoffs, and he gets the lone goal of this match in the first half. The Dynamo
clinical header.
Yep.
But speaking of clear and obvious, Daniel Shalaway, Peter Vermees, and Sporting Kansas City felt like this was a handball, a red card. I think it hits him in the left arm, but the debate will be if his arm's in a natural position and the ball plays the arm doesn't play the ball. That look there for me, it's a handball.
Handball for you.
It is a handball.
It will be debated all week long. A chance at the end for Houston to make it too. It's a great save off the face of Tim Melia. But ultimately, it is Houston and Ben Olsen taking the Dynamo to the conference final, where they will play either here at Lumen Field or at BMO Stadium in Los Angeles next Saturday night in the Western Conference Final. 45 minutes to determine the host of that match. Will it be Seattle? Will it be the defending champions, LAFC? Jordan Morris had such a good opportunity to put the Sounders up 4 minutes in. He wasn't able to, but Banga took his chance. LAFC leads 1-0. Second half starts in 2 minutes at Lumen Field.
Finding the right hotel just got easier. Compare and book on the app with Hotels.com.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior.
If working hard is essential to get where you want to be, you need something that gets you going and keeps you going on the path to your true potential. You need a spotter, a running mate, a loyal companion. You need Celsius. Every drop is essential. Celsius, essential energy.
This is the Space Needle, downtown Seattle, Washington. They're used to big games this time of year in this venue. LAFC coming on the road and leading Seattle 1-0 as we get ready for the start of the second half. This is the supporter camp brought to you by Hotels.com. Find your perfect somewhere on the Hotels.com app. The ECS with a T-phone before this one. The Emerald City supporters with the message of take out the trash. There's a little bit of a rivalry between Seattle and LAFC. Their third all-time meeting in the playoffs. Two teams that expect to be at this point. They both expect the Western Conference to go through them. Only one will host the Western Conference Final next Saturday night. Right now, it's LAFC with a 1-0 lead. Getting ready for the start of the second half. LAFC is not out of the locker room yet. Seattle is. João Paulo was active. He was everywhere involved in the build-up for Seattle. And how do the Sounders threaten LAFC and find a goal in the second half?
It's a good question, because ultimately I think João Paulo was the metronome he needed to be. They played through him a lot.
Yep.
I think the right side of Seattle did a very good job of getting forward. But I beg the question for Denis Banga to switch sides and go find the game against New, who guess where he scores the goal?
Yeah, on the left side.
On the left side, because Alex Roldan was pushing forward. I think if the 60th minute comes around and Seattle hasn't found a rhythm or dictated the game the way they want to, I think Ladero's coming off. I think he's coming onto the game. And ultimately, I think Rui Diaz may come with him. And so now it changes the look of it. I think the first 15 minutes for Seattle and Brian Schmetzer are going to determine what comes next. But how about LAFC taking a page right out of Messi and Inter Miami's playbook here?
Making them wait, and the boos come down as LAFC finally emerge from the locker room. Denis Banga in the 30th minute, the lone goal of the first half, the Golden Boot winner in the regular season, 20 goals in MLS play. 37 now, all competitions. LAFC, they'll be playing with an advantage because the Sounders have to score. They are still taking their time. They know what they're doing.
Absolutely. The question will be for Steve Cherundolo. He wasn't 100% convinced that Giorgio Chiellini can play 90 minutes. The way the first half went, Chiellini was good, but he was active.
He was.
He put a lot into that. It's going to be interesting to see Cherundolo and LAFC. What do they see from Chiellini up until about the 70th, 75th minute? Because the last thing you really want to do in a game of this magnitude with a lead is sub out a center back.
Well, LAFC made Seattle wait a few extra minutes, but the second half is now underway. In the Western Conference semifinals from Lumen Field, it's LAFC with a 1-0 lead thanks to Denis Bwanga's 30th minute goal. The winner of this match will host the Houston Dynamo next Saturday night in the Western Conference Final. LAFC, the defending MLS Cup champs. Seattle have been to 4 of the last 7 MLS Cups as the Western Conference winners. One of them, in 45 minutes, will be a game away from being back in that final match of the season in MLS Cup. Seattle wants a handball. It's given. Kellen Acosta disagrees. No changes, no substitutions for either team at halftime. Yeimar looking direct for Rusnak. He mishits it, and it's right to Maxime Crépeau.
Seattle's going to have to find a way to get a little bit more from Leo Chu and Christian Roldan. They've got to find them into those little pockets. Jordan Morris providing that pace in behind, allowing the 3 underneath him to fill in the gaps, but it's really been only Rusnak who's been in those spots.
This is promising for Seattle. Leo Chu didn't get it right. Broken up by Hollingshead. It does make its way to Jordan Morris. Now Nuhu has come forward. And he sends it out for a goal kick. Over 34,000 at Lumen Field tonight. It is a sellout. It's a proper playoff atmosphere in Seattle. The third all-time playoff meeting between these two teams. The first two won by Seattle by identical 3-1 scorelines. Breaks it up. Rusnak was trying to find Leo Chu. Gaymar into Christian Roldan. It was a difficult ball to handle. He sends it right to Hollingshead. High press from Seattle. Hollingshead is brought down and fouled.
It was a bad giveaway from Christian Roldan, but it was a great spot. First time we've seen him tonight get into that spot that then allowed this ball into Hollingshead to be a little bit more difficult. Ball's given away, but Rusnak and Leo Chu putting Hollingshead under real pressure, looking for a turnover. Seattle's at their best when Christian Roldan is just that threat out of the midfield, that third or fourth attacking player, both with and without the ball.
We asked Brian Schmetzer what changed for Seattle after a bit of a difficult summer. They were great after Leagues Cup. Middle of the year they weren't. He said Christian Roldan. He said, look, that's a simple answer. Christian Roldan dealt with 2 concussions this year. He was limited to 16 matches. They lost just 1 of those 16 games that he played this season. Christian Roldan has not been as involved as Seattle would like tonight.
Well, unlike the first half where there was a real rhythm and flow to the game.
Yeah, there's not.
5 minutes in, it's been real chippy, whistles being blown.
Is that an advantage for LAFC, the team that's up 1-0?
Yes, because they've got the lead, right? And so anxiety's building, but Seattle's got to get back to that rhythm and flow they had in the first half, and that's moving the ball very quickly between the lines, allowing Rusnak and João Paulo to dictate the tempo of the game.
Roldan, followed by his U.S. national team teammate Kellen Acosta, and Seattle will have a set piece.
Well, the second half's been chippy. You know, Christian Roldan's got positioning on Kellen Acosta, but the last thing you want to do in that spot is to give the ball away or to cause a foul. So now you've got a dangerous attacking set piece here for Seattle.
They've had a lot in this game, Seattle has. They haven't really been able to threaten off of these set pieces. And they do so now. Albert Rusnak will serve. To the back post and over everybody and out. A letdown. Ted Uncle is going to at least talk to Maxime Crépeau. It seems LAFC, starting from delaying their return from the locker room at halftime, has wanted to disrupt the rhythm of this second half.
The only thing I'll say is the way the game is officiated now, it's just more extra time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it frustrates teams. It frustrates the home crowd and all that, but all it does is add extra time. So on some level, I think it's way too soon from LAFC to play to that.
Leo Chu for Seattle. Well defended by LAFC. Now Denis Bouanga, can he get out and run? Trying to get it through to Vela. Important intervention from Jackson Reagan. Leo Chu cuts inside. Leaves it for Josh Atencio. Nuhu for Chu. Murillo steps in. It's off of Murillo. It's a corner for Seattle. The first
Murillo's
of the second
arguing
half.
that he cleared it off of Leo Chu. Just seems like a lot of frustration, arguing, bickering with the referee. LAFC's got to be very careful here. tying goal, all of a sudden this roof is going to be blown off this building and momentum's going to be on Seattle's side.
Albert Rusnak will take it. Murillo, the defensive header away, only as far as Alex Roldan.
The way this second half has started, I'd be shocked if Lodero's not in this game in the next 5 minutes.
Alex Roldan took a deflection. Murillo mishandled it, and it's a second consecutive corner for the Sounders.
You know what I'm saying, Jake? Because if LAFC is going to be relying on just making the game ugly, stalling, not playing at a rhythm that they were in the first half, it almost plays into the hands of Nicolas Lodero, who likes to roam, find the game.
The club legend. We have another moment in his illustrious career. First the corner, Rusnak in. This is Carlos Vela, the defensive header. Again out to Alex Roldan. Now João Paulo will recirculate it into the area. It's off Murillo. It made its way to Morris, but Ted Uncles called a foul first.
Yeah, and right on cue, Schmetzer, Andy Rose, and that staff at the Seattle Sounders have just summoned Nicolas Lodero. One, it's going to get the energy of the building. Arguably the best player in Seattle Sounders history. Pre-MLS and during MLS. This may be his swan song. Brian Schmetzer is going to tap into that. And the energy, he's coming in.
They love him here at Lumen Field. Joined in the summer of 2016, led the Sounders to 4 MLS Cups in the next 5 years, winning 2 of them. And he's a big game player. 8 goals and 11 assists in the postseason, 19 goal contributions. The most of any active player in MLS in the postseason, the 5th most in Major League Soccer history. Sounders need a 20th from their star Nicolas Lodero, who's getting ready to come in off the bench in this conference semifinal. Here he comes, first change of the match. Nicolas Lodero on for Leo Chu.
Well, make no mistake about it. It's not as if Father Time has looked at him and said it's done. He still has something. He still absolutely can contribute at a high level.
10 assists this season. Brian Schmetzer said, I kind of give Nico a pass. It's not really his fault. They've changed their style, and Albert Rusnak, the way he plays, just fits that position better in the way that Seattle wants to play as a team.
But similar to the Diego Valeri, and ultimately what's going to be for Carlos Vela in the next role of his career here in Major League Soccer, is Nicolas Lodero can have a real impact for an MLS team in this league, if not stay here in Seattle, if he's willing to buy in to that last 30 minutes of a game kind of role.
His contract is up. Big decision that he will have to make in this offseason. I don't think he's thinking about that at this moment. He's thinking about getting the Seattle Sounders back to the conference final. They trail 1-0. Roldan cutting inside. Now for João Paulo. Over to Christian Roldan. Good ball in. Crepeau came, as did Murillo. Murillo got a touch. Not clear from LAFC yet. Palacios composed, will carry forward. Sends it behind Oliveira, who gives it away. He had Tillman if he could have sent it forward. Instead, it's Seattle. Rusnak. Here is Lodero. Nuhu.
Yeah, but see, now Seattle's attack is completely different. And the reason why Leo Chu's an out-and-out direct winger. You know what he's going to give you. You know how to defend that positionally. Lodero's going to roam. He's going to go find the game. He's going to be all over the shop. It's important that the back line of LAFC very disciplined and not chasing Lodero all over the field.
Alex Roldan steps up to win it for Seattle. João Paulo into Christian Roldan. Service to the back post. Nobody there for the Sounders. Hollingshead drives it forward. Atencio wins it back for Seattle. This half has been all the Sounders in possession.
It's way too early for LAFC to just sit in and bunker in. I understand that it plays to your DNA of being dangerous in transition, but they've barely crossed half field in this second half.
Roldan, another service. Hollingshead there to send it away, only as far as Atencio. LAFC trying to get on the ball. João Paulo pokes it away. That always dangerous LAFC counterattack lurking. But it has been the Sounders on the ball in the second half. João Paulo to Rusnak. Finally, a little bit of space for Seattle to come forward with pace. Ladero cuts inside, finds Rusnak, touch towards Morris, trying to get around Palacios, and his shot is blocked. Chiellini is down inside the 18. Ted Unkel stops play.
I mean, arguably your two most technical players are now on the field at the same time, Rusnak and Ladero. Good soccer players love playing with players that are similar or the same mind, the same tempo. Just that little dink of a touch from Rusnak sets up Jordan Morris. Whistle blown for that little bit of a late challenge on Chiellini. But how about Ladero and Rusnak putting on a show in tight spaces?
Again, Maxime Crépeau taking his time. It's changed with Nicolas Ladero coming onto the pitch for Seattle. Roldan in a foot race, beats Chiellini, gets around Chiellini, goes down. This is just outside of the box. It's not even a foul. Ted Unkel says Chiellini got the ball. Tillman carrying forward. Oliveira wins a corner off of Nuhu. Seattle now will complain about the non-call on the other side.
This is a foul. Absolutely 100%. No ball is touched from Chiellini, and even if it was, he still comes through the back foot of Christian Roldan. Now, it's not a red card, because I know the viewers at home are wondering, we gave you the handheld look and it's close and it's tight. Murillo had already slid over. It's not dogs though. It's not a red card challenge. Absolutely 100% a foul.
And clearly outside of the box, so nothing for VAR to do in this moment. But Seattle still incensed with Ted Unkel, because what they feel should be a dangerous set piece for them on the other end is now LAFC's first corner kick of this match.
And the best team in MLS in the regular season of playoffs in scoring goals off of corners.
Carlos Vela will serve. Fry catches. Seattle wants to get out and run. Seven Fry's really upset because Ryan Hollings had moved in the way of, he was trying to pump the ball forward to Jordan Morris. Ladero into Morris. Does this help Seattle? It's getting testy. The crowd's getting upset. Yamar steps in.
Absolutely, it helps them.
Reagan is down. Ted Unkel's going to stop play now.
But it's also the MLS defending champion.
Yep.
And they're on the road. Steve Cherundolo's undefeated in the MLS playoffs. So they're okay with this. I just think they need to be a little bit more clinical, a little bit more efficient when they do win the ball. This is why you've got 35,000 screaming at the referee. Ryan Hollingshead steps right into Stephen Fry. There's no debate whatsoever.
That was awkward. Jackson Reagan going down and holding onto his knee.
I mean, Stephen Fry having words with the referee.
He wants a yellow card for Ryan Hollins, so. And he's explaining to Carlos Vela why he's upset.
The question here is Jackson Reagan. Okay, that. Ooh.
Didn't look great. A little twist as he came down, and Sounders athletic training staff is checking out Jackson Reagan, who has been so good in his second year in MLS. He has won the starting job. He has been as reliable of a center back as there is in this league for the team that was the best defensive team in Major League Soccer this year. Just 32 goals allowed in 34 games.
This is the challenge from Chiellini. I mean, you watch Chiellini's response, and I always go by the player's response immediately afterwards. How many times in your life have you seen Chiellini make the motion, all ball, I got ball? He didn't make any motion there. He knew he got away with one.
You can always tell, can't you? Not always, but
you can, though.
There's always a moment when the genuine
It's the human nature. Absolutely it is. Well, and Steve Cherundolo said he would be nervous about Chiellini, giving him 90 minutes on turf. Experience is there, but those are 39-year-old legs. 2 minutes in, Jordan Morris bowling right by him. Now all of a sudden, a couple little iffy moments with Seattle getting into those real pockets of space. They're isolating Chiellini one-on-one. Unfortunate for Christian Roldan, Seattle Sounders, the set piece wasn't given.
João Paulo with Vela poking it away from behind. João Paulo was late. And João Paulo will go into the book. The third Sounder shown yellow tonight by Ted Uncle.
Well, and it's difficult, right? João Paulo loses possession. He comes in late. Kellen Acosta knows exactly what's going on in that moment. 11-10 Seattle to LAFC fouls. 3 yellows have been given to the Seattle Sounders. How many yellows to LAFC?
None yet. Expected, given how the 2 matches in the regular season went. Just 1 goal scored, 10 yellow cards in those 180 minutes. This has been a better match, a more entertaining affair than either of those regular season ones were, and it's going to be a great ending in this Western Conference semifinal with all the tension you could hope for. Banga tried to get it into Vela. João Paulo won it. Banga called for a foul. The 11th foul of the night against LAFC. Atencio to Roldan. This is promising for Seattle. Good ball to Morris. Morris with Murillo and Hollingshead defending. And ultimately well done by LAFC.
How good is that from Hollingshead?
Yep.
Honestly, because the space over the top, the little flick on from Christian Roldan was on. And Murillo was beat a little bit. And oftentimes it's in support where you got to come up with big plays. The first time MLS All-Star in his career has had a fantastic MLS career in Ryan Hollingshead. A winger turned fullback, been really good, but that was big time in support of Jesus Murillo. Just feels like a heavyweight fight, doesn't it?
It does. It is. LAFC and Seattle. These are Major League Soccer heavyweights. Alex Roldan. Defended by Banga, and the set piece now for Seattle. That is the 12th foul of the night for LAFC.
Wait a minute. That has to be a yellow.
Not yet.
What do you mean not yet? That is a yellow.
Well, Ted Uncle says not yet.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
That's a yellow. Based on how the other calls have been given and the yellow cards that have been given to Seattle, that's a yellow card challenge.
Ted Uncle does not think so, and it was a warning to Denny Banga. He appeared to count out. Next one's going to be persistent infringement. That's the 4th foul of the game, though,
foul
from Denny Banga.
Yeah. Change here. It was Rusnak and João Paulo, now with Ladero on the field, in swinging ball. A little bit more difficult for LAFC to defend.
Ladero drives this in, doesn't make it past the man at the near post, Diego Palacios, and Vela sends it clear. This is dangerous for LAFC. Oliveira coming forward. Banga is in the middle. Touch got a little bit of away from Oliveira. Still might be there for LAFC. Tillman's got time. Oh, good ball, clipping it to Banga. Banga trying to get around Atencio. Into Tillman, trying to turn over to Vela. On his left, blocked by Roldan. He wanted it on the left foot, could have hit it first time with the right, and wins the corner in the end.
Well, Oliveira's first touch actually slowed down LAFC a little bit, works in their favor. Tillman plays the right ball here. Carlos Vela's got to hit it first time with his right foot. Just bend it back post using the momentum of the pass to pull it away from Stefan Frey.
Vela sends it in. Alex Roldan, the header. Palacios just sends that forward. Didn't want anything to do with that Seattle pressure. It's a goal kick, and it will be a change for Brian Schmetzer, the 2nd of the night, and it's their other big star, club legend, Raul Ruidiaz, coming in to try to save Seattle for Josh Atencio. Raul Ruidiaz has scored 73 goals, including the playoffs, since his debut in July of 2018. Tied for the most in MLS in that time with Carlos Vela. He has scored 9 goals in the playoffs. The most of any active player in Major League Soccer. He is a big game player. He's had a difficult year, just 5 goals, just 11 starts. They need another big moment from another club legend, Raul Ruidiaz, tonight. João Paulo to Christian Roldan. Service to the back post, all the way through. Nuhu there. Sends it back to Ruidiaz. LAFC throw. Well, if this is a last dance, so to speak, for Seattle, for their core, for Nicolas Ladero, for Raul Ruidiaz, they probably could not ask for a better moment, for a better opportunity. 18 minutes left in the conference semifinal, plus stoppage time. The Sounders need heroics. And they have 2 players coming off the bench who have provided so many of those moments over the past 7 years in Seattle. LAFC, meanwhile, the goal in the 30th minute by Denny Banga. And they've made that hold up since. They've defended well in this second half. Deep, but they've done the job. And now Nuhu wins another corner for Seattle. Ladero. Ilie, the defensive header. Rusnak, the volley. Well high. What is Seattle's path to an equalizer?
I just think being on the front foot, really try to play quickly. allow Rusnak and Ladero to go find the game. I think Jordan Morris and Rui Diaz can play well off of each other. Morris maybe play a little bit more as a winger down the left. But just go as quickly as you can. Simple two-touch passing. Use rotations. There's plenty of time, but more importantly, there's a quality chance or two left in this game for Seattle. The last thing you want to do is to try to do too much, too many touches, too many dribbles. You're best going up against LAFC when it's combinations and playing very quickly.
Carlos Vela fouls João Paulo.
I think the better question is, what does Steve Cherundolo and LAFC do here? 2 subs from Seattle, nothing yet. Christian Oliveira dealing with an injury. Tillman's not the best defender. You know, Mark Dos Santos and Steve Cherundolo have been sitting there with Ante Razov, really having a conversation. They've got to find something. Do you go maybe 5 in the back and bring on Aaron Long?
It's not a bad option.
If Bouanga's on the field, he can single-handedly be your counter threat.
What will Steve Cherundolo do? He is standing pat for now. And it's another set piece for Seattle. They have had a lot of these in this match. LAFC has defended them brilliantly. João Paulo. Ilie heads it back right to Ladero. They'll put in. Oh, and cleared off the line. Yeimar didn't get good contact, and it was relatively easy for Tillman to send it away. Sent back in by Rusnak. Wonderful ball to Christian Roldan. Now João Paulo to the back post. Crepeau will come. That makes its way to Ladero. Ted Uncle calls the foul.
Well, the ball's just floating around inside the 18. Ladero doing anything to keep it alive. Gomez Andrade had Crepeau beat. Jackson Reagan, there's no foul there whatsoever.
Jackson Reagan won the ball.
He won the ball. He didn't play the goalkeeper. Here we go. I'm going to get on my soapbox again about goalkeepers being overprotected. There's absolutely no foul in that play whatsoever. Jackson Reagan challenged the ball, played the ball, and won it fair and square. But more importantly, how about Tillman being in the right spot? Crepeau was by, it was gone. Ball was by him. Crepeau was on the other side. Tillman doing a good job at defending on that post.
Jackson Reagan disagrees.
Oh, and here's that look what I'm talking about. Gomez Andrade, he whiffs it, but it's still, oh, that's the foul.
The arm is up there.
The arm is there. That's a better look from what we saw. And that's exactly where the referee was on that angle. From that angle, you can understand why he blew the whistle.
The left arm of Jackson Reagan getting into Maxime Crepeau, allowing him to win that header. Carlos Vela will come off for LAFC. Mateusz Bogusz will come on. The first change of the match for Steve Cherundolo. What does this move tell you about what Steve Cherundolo wants for these final 13 minutes plus stoppage time?
Well, he needs a little bit more of an activity in the front four defending. Bogusz gives them that. He also gives them a little bit more of a threat on the counter. Bogusz is looking for something, though. It looks like Chiellini is holding his leg. And Bogusz was screaming for the trainers and the medical professionals to come on the field. It looks like he's got a cut.
He has been everywhere for LAFC today. He has sacrificed his 39-year-old body. And once again, for a second time tonight, will need treatment for blood on his knee.
748 games he's played. 745 of them he's left bleeding somewhere.
And he will again tonight. And he also wants to leave with a victory, and with LAFC advancing to the conference final. They are 11 minutes plus stoppage time away from hosting a second straight Western Conference final. They have defended throughout most of this match, particularly in the second half. Seattle has been unable to find a way through. Nuhu off of Holling said he'll get it back. Alex rolled on. Thought about it, cuts it back. Now he will have a go. He hit it well, and Crepeau is forced to make the save and push it over.
Chiellini comes back onto the field. Great composure from Alex Roldan, just getting Bogus to dive in here, cutting back to his off foot. Good technique, but we knew it from the opening whistle. Crepeau has been up for it tonight.
Ladero into the near post, flicked on. Nuhu back over to Ladero. He'll be able to cross again. Sends this in, but right to Crepeau. Nobody was crashing for Seattle. He has made 3 super important and very difficult saves for LAFC tonight.
Well, in this one, the easiest of the 3, but still coming up with big saves in timely fashion. But the beginning of this game would have changed the entire complexion of the game if Jordan Morris finishes that one play one-on-one, or Intensio's ball hits the back of the net.
That Morris chance in on goal,
no doubt.
Crepeau. That is the one. And Seattle will regret not taking advantage of. Crepeau made a great save. Really just one chance tonight for LAFC. And it's the goal. It's Denis Bouanga in the 30th minute. The one player you can't give that chance to.
No, I do think that layoff from Vela was a decent chance, maybe a half chance. Yep. You're right.
Yep.
Absolutely. So it's 1 or 1.5. Either way, that's been it.
And it has been Seattle on the front foot throughout this second half, but unable to break down LAFC. Alex Roldan off of Palacios. Back to João Paulo. João Paulo on his left. Oh, just over. Another save from Maxime Crepeau.
Absolutely gets a little bit of a touch on this. That was heading to the back of the net. A big-time save from Maxime Crepeau. My word.
And the ensuing corner. Oliveira sends it away. Rusnak will chase it down. Roldan blocked by Bouanga. Rusnak's got to get there before Oliveira. He does. Back to Stefan Frey. 8 minutes plus stoppage time left in the conference semifinal. LAFC holding on to a 1-0 lead. Maxime Crepeau has been a star tonight for the defending champs. Rui Diaz trying to turn, defended well by Ilie and Chiellini. Can Seattle find an equalizer to keep their season alive? Christian Roldan, awkward from LAFC, but cleared by Tillman. Roldan into his brother Alex. That cross took a deflection. Hollingshead gets in front of Morris to clear. Yeimar gets it over to Roldan. Ted Uncle stops play because of the contact to the face. Another decision that is disliked by the crowd here at Lumen Field. Tillman is down.
I mean, what a save this is. And what a year of redemption from Maxime Crepeau. In the biggest moment of his professional career, he breaks his leg in MLS Cup. He's come back, he's fought hard. Tonight, he has stolen the show here at Lumen Field for LAFC. I mean, how difficult of a moment that is. You break your leg, you miss the World Cup for Canada, you work your tail end off to get back, consistently motivating yourself to have moments like these. From the opening whistle, he was up for it.
This is his 11th start in a row since returning from that broken leg. Finally, a yellow card to LAFC. It's to Crépeau for time wasting. He won't mind. And tonight, he has kept LAFC ahead. Credited with 6 saves, 4 of them that you'll put on the highlight reel. And LAFC now 6 minutes plus stoppage time from getting back to the conference final. Oliveira gets around Roldan, goes down, foul given, set piece coming for LAFC. They will be in no hurry to take this. Bogusz to the back post, Fry catches.
I mean, the other part to Crépeau in this season, he's in a contract year. We want to talk about having a timely performance both in the season for your team, but also individuals. That's a yellow card challenge, absolutely.
That leg was high from Palacios into Alex Roldan. It is a yellow card. Second LAFC player in the book. And that leg was high. That where the stud's exposed is going to be a question.
Yeah. Now the question is, initial look, you say it hits Alex Roldan in the head, but it actually hits the left hand. But that it hits the left hand, not the face of Alex Roldan. But that is very, very close to being a challenge that VAR may want a second look at.
Well, Chris Penso, the video assistant referee, he checks every potential match-changing moment. That play will be checked by Chris Penso. The check is complete, no clear and obvious error, and another set piece for Seattle. They have been unable to take advantage of these moments tonight. Can they now? Ladero drives it in, flicked on by Roldan, sent away by Hollingshead. 3 minutes plus stoppage time left for Seattle. They need to find an equalizer. Hollingshead called for the foul. Sounders will have another free kick. They go short to João Paulo, back to Ladero, drives it into the near post. It looks like it came off the hand of Rui Diaz. It did. That will not count. Handball called on Raul Rui Diaz before the strike from Rusnak.
I'm a little surprised Steve Cherundolo hasn't brought on Maldonado or Aaron Long in these moments. This ball's cleared from Tillman. No doubt about it. Ball's deflected up to the left hand of Rui Diaz. Good call from the referee.
Gaymar into Alex Roldan, out to his brother Christian. Tries to get through Palacios. who defended it really well. Big ball forward into space for Oliveira. Banga, the touch around Reagan. Ted Uncle allows play to continue. Into space for Jordan Morris. Murillo there to send it into the crowd. Into the final minute before stoppage time.
Hang on a minute. Off the ball, Chiellini completely takes down Rui Diaz. When this play was played out of pressure, Ted Uncle is just giving Chiellini a yellow card right for there. Because immediately Chiellini knew Rui Diaz was trying to go in behind, allowing the play to develop, finish off, yellow given.
The third yellow card of the last 6 minutes shown to an LAFC player. Chiellini joins Maxime Crépeau and Diego Palacios in the book. Meanwhile, these are the lock-it-down substitutions from Steve Cherundolo. Right before stoppage time, Aaron Long, a center back, Sergi Palencia, an outside back, will come on. Timothy Tillman will come off. And Christian Oliveira will come off. So two attack-minded players leave for two defenders as LAFC are a stoppage time away from a return to the conference final. Another change from Brian Schmetzer. This will be his final one, his third substitution window, as Reed Baker-Whiting comes on for Nuhu. Desperation time for the Seattle Sounders. How much time will they have? We'll find out. A minimum 8 minutes of stoppage time shown by the fourth official, Filip Dujic. Is that enough time for Seattle? They have gone 19 in a row, unbeaten in the playoffs here at Lumen Field. They've won 17 of those games. They need to extend that streak to keep their season alive. Ladero tried to cut it inside, defended well by LAFC. Rui Diaz gets back on it for Seattle. Driven in, Long heads it away. Rui Diaz mishits it, out for a goal kick. The winner of this match will host Houston next Saturday night in the Western Conference Final. It's a game that's familiar for both of these clubs. For LAFC, the defending MLS Cup champs. They were there last year. They were there in 2019 when they lost to these Seattle Sounders. For the Sounders, 4 of the last 7 years, they have been the Western Conference champion. They have been in MLS Cup. They need a goal if they want to get back there. Alex Roldan to João Paulo. João Paulo floats it in easy for Murillo to head it away. Ladero, Reed Baker-Whiting gets around Hollingshead. Ladero blocked by Ilie, corner for Seattle. Ladero goes short to Reed Baker-Whiting. He will float it in. Murillo heads it away. Bogusz helps it on towards midfield. Rusnak clipping it forward. Yeimar brings it down well. Leaves for Ladero. Rui Diaz. Rui Diaz is going to have a go. Didn't get all that he wanted on it, and it's cleared by LAFC. Rusnak. Big switch. Comes off of Yeimar. Rui Diaz chases it down into Ladero. Alex Roldan over to Albert Rusnak. Seattle is still patient. Now Rusnak will have a goal! Off the crossbar. It took a deflection. It's a corner for Seattle.
I think Craig Poe got a touch. Oh, that is close. Deflection off the defender, but how about that strike from Rusnak?
Another corner for Seattle. Ladero in, Reagan heads it down. Crepeau pounces on it.
Seven goals he has scored this year in all competitions. It was that little bit of a deflection. All 7 goals from Albert Rusnak have been game winners. Timely goals, big ones. Little bit of a deflection, my word.
They'll just take an equalizer from him now. It's what Seattle need. A minimum 3.5 minutes left in this Western Conference semifinal. Denis Bouanga in the 30th minute, the lone goal of this match. Alex Roldan through for Christian Roldan. Chiellini sends it into the crowd.
But because of Gomez Andrade being so high up the field, João Paulo and Rusnak almost playing a 2v1 game, right? And it's maybe 25 yards from goal. Why not have a hit?
It's all hands on deck for the Sounders, everybody forward.
But Seattle have 2 players that can strike a ball from distance, and if it's João Paulo or Rusnak, then that may be better than just dumping it in over the head of Mario Chiellini or Aaron Long.
They have been inches away in this second half. Chiellini wins the header, Bogusz helps it on. LAFC continuing to defend so well with this 1-goal lead. Rui Diaz is dropped deep and he sends it into the box. He's kind of set up on that left wing. Here comes LAFC. They can ice it here with Bouanga. Bogusz coming forward as well. Bouanga running at Reagan. A step over and Bouanga right at Fry. Seattle still alive.
Why?
Why have a hit?
Why have a hit?
Go to the corner?
Absolutely.
Bouanga chose not to, and now it's Seattle coming the other way. Ladero, Bouanga just pushes him down from behind, and it's a set piece for the Sounders. He looked exhausted running back, Denis Bouanga did.
Oh, and Ladero knows exactly what he's doing. Cheeky player, so clever, any kind of touch, falling over, but keep an eye on João Paulo. He's 10 yards to the right of Ladero. Not a single player from LAFC of where João Paulo is right now.
He came so close to scoring from distance in this second half. Just over a minute left in the minimum 8 of stoppage time. Ladero does what you wanted, Taylor. João Paulo will hit it, and this time it's well over. LAFC is okay. They say, hey, have a go out there. They'd rather Seattle find their equalizer from deep than give up something inside the 18, and they are now 1 minute, maybe a little more if Ted Unkel decides to add on to the 8. But they are close to going back to the Western Conference Final. Fry's gonna have to just let this go out, and this might be the last chance for Seattle. Can the Sounders find an equalizer at the death to extend this to extra time? Dumped forward, Murillo wins the header, down to Bouanga. Ilie now, LAFC just wants to see this clock run out. Strong challenge from João Paulo. Here comes Seattle. One last chance, maybe. Ladero. Rusnak. João Paulo. Into the box. Crepeau will catch. All eyes to Ted Unkel, the referee. Will he let this go on? The minimum was 8 minutes. They'll go 8.5, and it's over. The Western Conference Final will be back at BMO Stadium. LAFC comes up to Lumen Field and ends the Sounders' playoff home unbeaten run. They win 1-0, and the defending champs return to the conference final.
Seattle Sounders unbeaten at home in the playoffs in their last 19 games. And when you see a streak like that, you've got to have some out-of-the-world performances, and they got it from the LAFC goalkeeper. Maxime Crépeau was fantastic, sensational, brilliant tonight when he needed to from the opening whistle. And as a goalkeeper, all you want to do is to give your star attacking players one opportunity. What a year it's been for their goalkeeper. Sent off, broken leg in MLS Cup last year, standing on his head at Lumen Field this year. My word, he was so good tonight in allowing their star player a half a chance to put the game away.
This is the moment of the match presented by JCPenney, and it is the lone goal, the goal that sends LAFC back to the conference final. It's the Golden Boot winner, Denis Bouanga.
Yeah, and what did they want? They wanted to expose the right side of the Seattle Sounders defense because they knew Alex Roldan would bomb forward, create width, put Denis Bouanga in behind that space. It didn't happen often, but when it happened the one time, the Golden Boot winner of Major League Soccer in 2023 delivered in a major way. What a big-time goal from a big-time player.
LAFC hands Seattle their first home playoff loss in over 10 years. Over a decade without a loss in the postseason in this building until LAFC has done it tonight in the Western Conference semifinal. Denis Bouanga's goal, 8 saves from Maxime Crépeau, many of which will go on his highlight reel. And LAFC is back in the conference final. Steve Cherundolo remains unbeaten in the playoffs. We'll break this down when we return from Lumen Field. LAFC 1, Seattle 0.
There are trucks, then there's the truck, GMC Sierra. Available with the V8 engine. The Super Cruise hands-free driving experience. And of course, the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. Not just any truck, the truck.
How will I know where to start? Striving for more isn't just for the field, it's for life. Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Hi, it's Major League Soccer. No, you're looking for Beckham. I'm Beck. Noah Beck.
All right, team, it's the marketing plan for 2023.
Hey, everyone. Sorry I'm late. So I have this great idea. What do we think? Hi, it's Major League Soccer. Oh, hi, Mr. Messi. Yeah, please hold. Yeah, what's up? Hi, it's MLS.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
It is for our economy ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, cash or card?
For water?
Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro. Check it out, made with titanium.
We do have free movies, with the purchase of headphones.
I'll just use my iPhone.
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Welcome back to Lumen Field, the traveling support of LAFC. Still standing, still singing, still joyous after LAFC wins this Western Conference semifinal to advance to the Western Conference final for a second straight year, in large part, Taylor, to their goalkeeper, Maxime Crépeau, who made 8 saves, many sensational tonight.
Yeah, but from the opening whistle, that's the most important part to this. This is early on in the game. Atencio strikes that very well on turf. Clinical save, but none bigger, none better than this one. Jordan Morris blown right by the 2 center backs of LAFC, and that is a massive save. Jordan Morris had 13 goals this year on 22 shots on goal, as efficient as anyone in this league. The one opportunity tonight he had, Crépeau made the save. This one, easier variety, but he's still got to make it. You still got to come up with it. You still got to make sure you deflect it over the top. But how many times are you going to come up with good saves? That one is spectacular.
That might be the best.
It is the best for me. Jordan Morris, as good as that one was early on, it sets the tone. That's the highlight reel one. Game on the line, backs against the wall. And a contract year? Huh. Cha-ching, big time from Maxime Crépeau.
A literal fingertip save from Maxime Crépeau to keep LAFC up 1-0 and to send LAFC to the conference final. It was all Seattle possession-wise, especially in that second half. LAFC content to sit back and defend, and it worked. LAFC wins 1-0 and will host the Houston Dynamo next Saturday night at BMO Stadium in the Western Conference Final. Those two, the star men for LAFC tonight, the defending champs, now 1 game away